Imagine a mountain lion, eagerly enjoying the prey it just hunted, deep in the forest. Suddenly, a sound rings out. Not the roar of a bear or a wolf, but just the murmuring voices of humans. Immediately, the mighty mountain lion abandons its meal and flees in panic. Wild animals, even the largest species like mountain lions, elephants, or bears, always consider humans a massive threat, even more terrifying than any other predator. A video clip from a trail camera in California captured exactly the scene of a mountain lion leaping up and running away upon hearing human voices. Furthermore, a study by ecologist Liana Zanet in 2023 in South Africa pointed out that wild animals panic and flee twice as fast when hearing human voices compared to hearing the roar of a lion. However, there is an incredibly interesting paradox. We humans create a lot of garbage and leftover food, which is a lucrative food source for many animals. Furthermore, there are species that always show curiosity in our presence. So why does the vast majority of the natural world still choose to hide? Surely you have seen brazen monkeys snatching food from tourists, or pigeons calmly pecking at breadcrumbs in the middle of a crowded urban square. They do not avoid us at all. Yet, in return, antelopes, or apes in the deep forest, will disappear the moment they catch the scent of humans. This difference is not random, but it stems from evolutionary mechanisms and the complex learning process of each individual over many generations. Regarding evolutionary origins, humans are exactly a super predator. Throughout the length of history, our ancestors hunted almost every species, from wild boars, reptiles, to giant mammals. Unlike lions that only hunt to fill their stomachs, humans often hunted with a radical degree, sometimes just to take horns, tusks, or fur. Therefore, living creatures were forced to develop a natural sense of fear as a core survival strategy. We often appear en masse, carrying highly lethal weapons, creating unfamiliar noises and scents. The experiment of researcher Liana Zanet proved that all tested animal species increased their vigilance to the maximum level upon hearing the human voice. The animals fled as if they were facing certain death. Scientists call this phenomenon the landscape of fear, where humans cast a shadow of threat over the globe. Deep inside the brains of animals is a specialized area to process threats such as sudden movements, strange sounds, or the scent of humans. When this signal is transmitted to the brain, it immediately creates automatic survival reflexes. This reflex is quantified by scientists using a concept called flight initiation distance. Depending on the species, the reflex will differ. Higher animals, like deer, often choose to run for their lives. Birds will immediately take off and soar high. Meanwhile, reptiles like snakes or lizards choose to lie completely still, freezing their bodies to blend into the environment. Even a study in 2020 pointed out that even the larvae of forest butterflies would significantly reduce their activity just from smelling the scent of humans. Besides innate instincts, learning and personal experience also play a decisive role. Animals subjected to long-term hunting pressure will learn how to avoid humans very early on. For example, deer in forests with hunters will be much more sharp and vigilant. Conversely, if animals live in an environment with human activity but are not threatened, such as in ecotourism areas, they can gradually become accustomed and reduce their flight initiation distance. The research of scientist Blumstein pointed out that locality is very important. A mountain goat living near deep forest areas will avoid humans from afar, but that exact same species, when living near peaceful residential areas, appears quite calm. If humans bring benefits like food, animals will become bolder. But if humans bring danger, they will become increasingly sensitive and fearful. The degree of avoiding humans is extremely diverse and depends on each species group as well as the habitat. With large mammals like primates or antelopes, they often flee from a very far distance because they have good ability to accumulate experience. Small mammals like porcupines or squirrels prioritize hiding in burrows. With birds, taking flight is the most common reaction. But urban birds like seagulls are too familiar with humans, while wild eagles will not let you get close. The habitat also shapes this reflex. In pristine deep forests like the Amazon or Congo, animals rarely let humans approach. On the vast savanna grasslands, where visibility is wide open, herbivores like zebras will run away immediately when the human silhouette appears. As for urban areas, many animals like gray wolves or brown bears have changed their behavior, choosing to be active at night to avoid encountering us during the day. It is the human activities, from hunting, urbanization to tourism, that have strongly interfered with the habits of the natural world. Hunting is the most direct cause that makes animals panic. The fact that humans destroy forests, expand agriculture, and build roads has shrunk habitats, forcing animals to cluster together, increasing their stress levels. Vehicles and urban noise have forced many species to alter their biological cycles. According to a study in 2019, very many wild animal species have completely shifted to a nocturnal lifestyle to avoid meeting humans on the streets. Even seemingly harmless activities like visiting national forests, if not well managed and tourists frequently make noise, also cause animals to increase their fear reflexes and alter their resting habits. Field data has clearly proven this avoidance trend. Hundreds of camera traps placed in forests across Europe and North America show that bears and wolves have shifted to nocturnal activity in areas with high tourist volumes. Tracking data through positioning systems indicates that deer and tapirs often travel far from routes with human footprints. Landscape models built by scientists show that very many animal species have proactively created a safe buffer zone, evacuating from a 3-kilometer radius area around large cities. In summary, the avoidance mechanism is an incredibly complex system. Hunted mammals usually have a flight initiation distance of 50 to 500 meters and are extremely sensitive to scents and sounds. Reptiles almost never flee from afar, but choose to freeze in place, hiding in rock crevices. A dense forest environment makes animals easily startled and have a larger flight distance. Meanwhile, an urban environment with continuous noise reduces the fear reflex but pushes carnivorous species to shift to nocturnal activity. The human avoidance behavior of wild animals has exposed a profound reality. From the perspective of the natural world, humans are precisely an ecological exception, a terrifying god bringing massive impacts. The wariness of all species towards us is proof of dominating power, but at the same time is also a reminder of responsibility. As conservation awareness increasingly rises, established wildlife reserves are gradually helping many species relearn how to live peacefully alongside humans. Yet the big question still remains. We took tens of thousands of years to become the most terrifying entity on the planet. So, how much longer will it take for humans to truly become the benevolent protectors of the natural world?